Welcome into the final regular season edition of Hit Sticks from the Star in Frisco. We're heading into Week 18 against the Washington Commanders, but let's not talk about this matchup. Let's talk about how the Cowboys can fix things up. It's a fixer-upper episode of Hit Sticks here from the Star in Frisco.
Snap back to Prescott, four-man rush, they pick that up. He throws it deep out to the left, it is picked off at the 30-yard line by Byard. Down the right sideline he comes. Smith with the tackle, Tyler Smith ran him down.
All right, Cowboys Nation, if we're going to fix some of these things on Hit Sticks, we got to start with some of the early problems for the Dallas Cowboys, and it starts with turnovers. You can't give your opponent early opportunities to stay in the ball game. The Cowboys did that against the Tennessee Titans. This was the second interception for Dak Prescott, driving with just about 40 seconds left or under a minute left in the half. They're at the opponent's 40-yard line, and he throws it into coverage. So now we're going to see exactly what should have happened on the out route for Dalton Schultz. We're going to fix some things up. We're going to put some tools on Dalty here for Isaiah. Stand back. Okay, OCIRS. If you're Dalton Schultz, how do you get a bigger window to throw into? And if you're Dak, how do you make the right decision?
Well, starting off with Schultz and Schultzenegger, you have to get a release, right? You got DCBC over here. He's going to want to come up there and put them fisticuffs on you, right? They want to disrupt things at the line of scrimmage. If you go back and watch the film, they did a great job, Tennessee that is, of coming up and just putting hands on our receivers and tight ends, not allowing them to get off the ball with clean looks. What does that do? It throws off your timing. So now if you're Dak Prescott, you have to sit back and wait for guys to get open, right? Creates a lot of disruption. So if Dak Prescott, though, all right, what he's been seeing is single high, but teams are starting to disguise their coverages a lot to cause some confusion for him. So right now his pre-snap read is cover 3, right? The cornerback drops back to the third, the safety goes to the third, the other corner goes to the third, and all these guys, you have 4 men underneath in the coverage. Okay, that's what it looks like pre-snap. But in all actuality, what ends up happening right now is they go to an invert cover 2. Go ahead and hit it, DC. Right there, boom, perfect. So now you have the guys that are changing up the responsibility. The cornerback that's up here pressed up on T.Y. Hilton actually ends up dropping to the far safety, okay, to the near side safety into a cover 2 hole. Then you have the inside the safety that's dropping out into the flat, taking their cornerback's responsibilities. So it's causing a lot of disruption for Dak Prescott right now, and he's struggling to identify what the coverage is and then where to go with the read once he's able to identify the coverage. So Dalton Schultz is running that corner route. We talked about it right there. He has to get a clean release. On this particular play, it's either Dalton Schultz or you throw the ball away. Gotcha. That is all there is because you have no timeouts. There's 20 seconds left in the first half, and you have to be able to get the doggone ball out your hands, okay? So we're going to run it through. We're going to try to show what should have happened versus what actually happened in the game.
Let's do it.
All right, here we go. T.Y. Hilton got pressed over there. Okay, you got to get off the ball. Dalton Schultz, you got to get off the ball. Let's see what happens. Bam. Now, that is exactly what Dak should have done, but he did not. So let's go and take a look at it as to why this is not only the right read. Dak made the right read, right, but he did not make the right decision. So right here, let's go ahead and go to Dalton Schultz, okay? This is where all the eyes need to be on, right here. So Dalton Schultz gets a release. Bow. This is what he did not do in the game. He did not get a clean release like this. If you go back and watch the film, he was I want to go outside, but I'm inside, and he ended up getting really convoluted in there with the defender. So boom, that's the man that he has to beat. We look on the outside, okay, T.Y. Hilton. He is supposed to be over the top. He has to be the first man, okay? This is a little scissors concept, right? But it doesn't happen here. But he waits on him a little bit. Once that man clears, you see how you see number 21? Once Dak Prescott sees the back of that defender, you now know that you have this window of opportunity over here on the sideline. You have to get the ball over this defensive back, onto the sideline, get into Dalton Schultz's hands, get him the twinkle toes on the sideline, little toe drag swag, and have a completion. Unfortunately, he didn't do that in the real life situation. He tried to drive the ball in there into coverage, and it turned into an interception. His 10th interception over the last 5 games.
Hate to see it.
Really interesting look at how teams have really thrown different coverages at Dak Prescott. And, of course, that's going to continue throughout not only the final week of the regular season against Washington, but also into the playoffs. But when we come back, we'll give DCBC Barry Church an opportunity to fix some things on the defensive side, starting with the pass rush when we come back on Hit Sticks.
Cowboys Hit Sticks, presented by EA Sports, is brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors, the official sporting goods retailer of the Dallas Cowboys, and by AT&T, the official 5G innovation partner of the Dallas Cowboys. This segment is brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors, official sporting goods retailer of the Dallas Cowboys.
Welcome back into Hit Sticks here from the Star in Frisco. And early in the season, really the storyline around this Dallas Cowboys team was the pass rush, a team that got after opposing quarterbacks better than anybody in the NFL. However, only 3 sacks over the last 4 weeks, even though a couple of them have been prominent. Dante Fowler Jr., for example, against Tennessee, had a strip sack that was recovered by Micah Parsons. So I'm going to give the pressure over to DCBC. Barry Church, I want to find a way to get this pass rush back to prominence prior to the playoffs. How does that happen, Barry?
Yeah, Cal, we got to get that swagger, that confidence back amongst this defensive line, which at one point was the strength of this team overall. 3 sacks in the past 4 weeks just is not going to cut it. We need to get after the quarterback. Earlier in the season, they were able to get home with just 4 people. Micah Parsons, D-Law, they were able to set up those one-on-ones for everybody else, and they were able to win those one-on-ones. Not the case these past couple weeks. So with Dan Quinn, the mad scientist, and DCBC, what we decided to do, we had a meeting about this. What we decided to do was go ahead and get his D-line a little bit of extra help. Maybe send somebody from the second level, maybe send somebody from the secondary to help this D-line get home after Carson Wentz. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and press these cornerbacks up, so go ahead and throw the timing off between the receivers and Carson Wentz. That'll buy our defensive line just an extra tick, an extra second to get back there. And we're also going to disguise our coverage, because right now you see those linebackers up in the A-gap right there. It seems like it's an all-out blitz that there's no way they can go ahead and block it up. But we'll see if we can confuse the quarterback over there to buy another second for this D-line to get back there. Let's see what we can do over here at IRS.
I like my matchups.
You like your matchups on the
my
outside?
matchups.
I
Make it
don't
happen.
know about that. All right, here we go.
Here we go.
Okay.
Oh!
And that's what you love to see. Let's take a look at this right here. As we see what this extra blitz did and getting after Carson Wentz right here. We got those linebackers up in the A-gap trying to discourage Carson Wentz by showing an all-out blitz, meaning he's going to have to try to get rid of the ball extremely fast. But what we did back there is we coded that blitz with a zone in the back end to confuse him a little bit. So once that snap happens, he's going to think, oh, I got to get rid of it quick. Wait a second, it's a zone coverage. But we also got a blitz. And those who don't understand, that's called a fire zone. And what we're doing here is we're bringing young DaRon Bland off of that nickelback position just to help this defensive line get after Carson Wentz. And as you see right here, Gallimore does a great job of eating up that left guard. The left tackle, number 72, is getting eaten up by Parsons right there. And who wouldn't put all the pressure or all the attention on Parsons? And as you see, DaRon Bland uses his speed coming off of the outside. They don't have enough linemen. They don't have enough blockers right there. And we're able to get home against Carson Wentz. That's what we need to see more of come Sunday. Just rushing 4 people. It worked in the past, but not anymore. We need to go ahead and add somebody from the second level or the secondary to help this defense get back after the quarterback and get back to its strength.
So to elaborate a little bit more on this, there was actually a play in that Tennessee game that brought DaRon Bland in on a blitz. He was one of the guys that had a sack against the Titans along with Dante Fowler Jr. So I want to look at it from a quarterback standpoint. We've got Carson Wentz in the shotgun here. He doesn't have any help. No running back to his sides, no tight ends really, except for Logan Thomas off into the right-hand side. So when you bring it from a side where you don't have any help, is it just a quick reaction from a quarterback standpoint, or what goes through a quarterback's mind whenever the blitz comes that quickly from an unsuspected spot?
Well, I mean, first of all, you have to identify it. We just talked about it with Dak and his ability to be able to identify and then make the proper decision based upon the information that he receives. Here you are with Carson Wentz. From that perspective, you already heard about DCBC did a great job of disguising what the quarterback would perceive this blitz to be. It looks like a double A-gap blitz with a man coverage, a single high man coverage behind it, right? So right off the back, I'm thinking that my most internal 5 guys are gonna be taken care of, and I have to only worry about one of these defensive ends, right? Either gonna be fan left or fan right, depending on what the offensive line is doing up front. But the last thing that Carson Wentz is thinking about right here is DaRon Bland coming off the edge. When that happens, if the quarterback is able to identify what is going on there, he has to get the ball out of his hands ASAP, because there is absolutely nobody that can take that man and take responsibility to block him. So you either have to get the ball out quick to Gibson out here in the flat, which in then makes you turn your whole body and now throw into a blitzing cornerback, right, in DaRon Bland, right? He's either going to come up, get a sack, or he's going to jump up and possibly intercept the ball. We've seen that happen on the other side of things, unfortunately. Or he has to get the ball to his tight end right now, which if he wanted to release the ball right now, who's in his throwing window? Well, he has Van Der Esch in his throwing window right there. So either way, you make it difficult as a defense, because now this guy either has a bad throwing lane or he has to make a quick decision based upon the blitz that's coming at him.
All right, now that we've addressed the defense, let's see if we can bring back this run game for the Dallas Cowboys. Once again, one of the most electrifying in the NFL in the early parts of the season. Struggling as of late. Can they get Tony Pollard going just in time for the playoff push when we come back on Hit Sticks?
This segment was brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors, official sporting goods retailer of the Dallas Cowboys.
Welcome back into Hit Sticks from the Star in Frisco. Kyle Yeomans alongside former Cowboys Barry Church and Isaiah Stanback, trying to fix up the Cowboys prior to the playoffs. And another area of need is the run game. The Cowboys were electrifying early in the season in terms of toting the rock. A big part of that was Tony Pollard, who was not available in Week 17 against the Tennessee Titans. What happened? Well, one of the top 5 run defenses in Tennessee limited the Cowboys on the ground. Ezekiel Elliott had under 2 yards per carry in the ball game. So do you need Tony Pollard to be successful, Isaiah? Because overall, he's been a key to this whole thing. How do you get him back and going prior to the playoffs?
I'm not sure that you need a TP, but you sure would like to have him. You know what I'm saying, Kyle? Especially this week, if you can get him back this week, because you're facing one of the most dominant defensive lines in the league. You got Allen up there. You got Chase Young, who was not there last time, right? They just got some goons, right? I know at BC, you know these guys are all first-round picks for the most part. Without a doubt. They are at complete problems. But you need to get back. You need some get back right, okay? You didn't have a good showing against the Tennessee Titans, like Kyle just said, and you want to try to get Tony Pollard inside, okay? The reason why you want to work him inside is because as soon as you have some success there, then they start really constricting their defensive front. Okay, they restrict their defensive front, and then what do? You start taking TP outside. We know he likes to play outside. He don't like to sit inside the house. Okay, put him outside the house, let him go out there and play with all his toys, mainly the hash marks, so he can run up there and get some touchdowns. TP is a heck of an asset. We have to find a way to get him and Zeke going again.
Yeah, from a defensive standpoint, like you mentioned, this defensive line is riddled with first-round picks. So I'm not sure this is going to be the game, the get-back game that the Cowboys would love to see. But like you said, when you have Tony Pollard back there, a home run threat at any opportunity, it makes defenses aware. So we'll see what we can do over here. But you see who's running that safety position, right? You see who's running that safety position.
17 yards back. I'm not worried about him.
Big hits. All right, here we go.
We can make it happen. Bye, y'all.
Okay, all right.
Yep.
There's one of those first rounders.
That's those first rounders you're talking about. Okay, but you know what? Run it back.
You
run it
sure?
back.
Yeah, I'm going to make some adjustments, though.
I'm going to make some adjustments, too. You see I changed up my formation. You see I changed up my formation.
But you see what I just did, right?
What'd you do?
You see how that middle, that packed is?
Man, stop
how
that,
packed that middle is right now?
Stop that, man.
Yeah, let's see what you got. Oh, he went on the outside. No,
coverage.
No, sir.
You know what? So, I mean, that's what's it's going to be challenging. You got Holcomb right there at the second level, right? You got Big Jonathan Allen on the inside.
Yep.
You have Chase Young, but you have to keep teams honest. And that's the one thing about a running game. You're not always going to have all the Skittles.
Yep.
You know, it's not always going to be Skittles and rainbows. So you have to work your way. We talked about the first play and how you really stuffed it up in there. But these guys on our right side, we have 2 all-pros over there. Okay, you got Big Dog Martin and you got Big Dog Smith.
Yep.
Those guys have to work in unison to be able to work and get to the second level. Also, you have Dalton Schultz out there. He has to win. You see right here, the reason why this play doesn't work because Martin is unable to work up to this second level.
Yep.
What you would like to see happen is you would like to see Martin and Smith work together to get up to this next level. You'd like to see, I'm going to zoom in on you right here. You'd like to see them bump over. So Martin should come on over here bump on Chase Young, double team combo block. You like to see Smith work up to the second level, seal the Holcomb right there, and then you have Dalton Schultz kicking out that man, and you have that perfect lane right in the seam right there to be able to get Tony Pollard up to the third level. Doesn't happen on this play. He whiffs on him. So what's the result? You have Tony Pollard trying to outflank somebody who already had the leverage on Dalton Schultz. That is not going to be the way in which they're productive. You like to see them get those combo blocks and be dominant like they have been for their entire career.
So the Cowboys couldn't hit the home run with Tony Pollard there. However, they've been giving up a couple of the deep balls throughout the last couple weeks. Couple young cornerbacks have been really at the hands of that. How can the Cowboys shore things up and not allow for teams to have the deep pass success that they've had these last couple games? When we come back with more Hit Sticks. Due to some issues in the secondary with some injuries, the Cowboys have had to have some young players step up at the cornerback position. Nashawn Wright, Kelvin Joseph, Deron Bland, they've all had their ups, but they've also all had their downs. So some of those downs have included some big plays from opponents over the last few games, and Isaiah Stanback's going to test the deep ball again here through the air. Barry, he's calling a house call. He can feel it coming already. How do you slow down the big play, and how do you do so if you're the Dallas Cowboys?
Yeah, with the Dallas Cowboys, they've been giving up a little too many deep balls to my liking these past couple games. And with the injuries to two of our top three corners, Jordan Lewis and Anthony Brown, you got a lot of young corners out there. Nashawn Wright is out there as well as Deron Bland, who's actually been playing extremely well at that nickelback position. But to me, communication is key in the secondary when you're dealing with young talent out there. So what we're going to do out there is make sure that everybody's on the same page and keeping everything in front of you. All right, we're going to make the offense go the long route because I feel like eventually they're going to want to gamble. They're going to take a deep shot, and that's when Diggs, that's when Hooker, that's when your veteran players step up and make huge plays. So we're keeping everything in front of us, doing a vanilla zone right now, or maybe not. Who knows? But we're definitely not going to give up no deep ball to IRS. I'll tell you that right now.
OC IRS is known for throwing touchdowns down
here
young.
we
You
go.
understand what I'm saying? I ain't talking about no Australia. So I'm about to show you how we do this. And you might want to change it to high safety.
You
because
sure?
that single high safety going to get you in a predicament.
No.
All right,
We know what we're doing. We communicated out here, so we know what we're doing.
Here we go. You have been warned.
Okay, all right. Oh, I see what you tried to do. Oh, okay.
Okay.
I'm going to give you another chance. I'm going to give you one more chance.
You don't want to take the Nashawn right now?
Nope. I'm going to give you another chance, man. I feel like that was just a vanilla crumb you threw out there for your boy.
All right. I'm going to run it back then.
I want all of it.
You want the...
Oh, man.
Ooh,
yeah.
give me that.
Oh, no.
Give me that Chris bounce out. Oh! Okay. Hey, good coverage. Good coverage.
That's amazing
You know what? You talk about playing a little bit soft on the defense, right? We talked about also getting some hands on the guys at the line of scrimmage, so it's kind of a give and take relationship here. But in terms of preventing the deep ball, this is exactly what you want to do. Reason being, I can't get beyond you.
We kept everything in front.
Go ahead.
That's exactly what we did. We kept everything in front. We were in a vanilla cover 3 zone. All right, with the young players that we have out there, we want to make sure they understand the defense like the back of their hand. Make sure you keep everything in front of you. And as you see right here, we got Diggs, we got Wright, we got Hooker manning the 3 deep zones, making sure everything is kept in front of us. And then those 4 under zone defenders right there, the 2 linebackers, the nickel back, and our safety curse right there, they're getting to the furthest point of their drop zones, making sure they keep everything in front of us too. Because if you see right here, if we run it back down towards where Curse is on that bottom right, you kind of tried to high-low us there right there. Curse does an amazing job playing high to low. Once he sees that receiver has gone into the cover 3 zone, he then comes up and takes the running back. We see the corner on the top side right here, making sure he keeps everything in front of us. He has that seam right there. He has that deep ball on the outside taken care of. Diggs doing an amazing job keeping his eyes on the quarterback, making sure he's as deep as the deepest. And once that ball is released, he's able to make a play because he's coming from top down, keeping everything in front of him, and that's what you want to do when you're talking about preventing a deep ball. You cannot let people get behind you. You have to communicate on the same page as we see these young defenders are. With a vanilla defense like that, they're able to know it like the back of their hand and play it, and you're able to run fast and play fast without thinking too much. Diggs does a great job right there, keeping everything in front of him.
Cowboys able to slow down the deep pass attack there. They'll try and do so this week against the Washington Commanders. When we come back, what does Madden think in Guys versus the Game? Final regular season edition of Guys versus the Game. We'll hear what Madden Simulation says right after this. Wrapping things up here on Hit Sticks from the Star, Barry Church, Isaiah Stanback, I'm Kyle Yeomans. Let's take a look at what Madden thinks will happen against the Washington Commanders this week. It didn't start pretty for the Dallas Cowboys. Terry McLaurin, 10-yard touchdown, working across on a slant, put Washington up 7-zip early. However, the Cowboys tied it up. A 10-yard touchdown catch for Ezekiel Elliott right over the middle of the field. 7-7 was the score. Now, heading into the fourth quarter, down by 3, Parsons forces the fumble. D-Law recovers it on the Dallas 30. They've got a chance late in the game. Then with 5 minutes left, CeeDee Lamb with a 13-yard touchdown grab. Cowboys win it 14-10. Final score, a low-scoring matchup against the Washington Commanders. Quickly, Isaiah, who you think's got it this week?
Oh, Dallas all day, baby. We got to get back on track heading into the playoffs.
I'm with you, Isaiah. Dallas all day. It's going to be a little bit bigger score than 14-10, though.
Yeah, I think so, too. I think it's going to be a high-scoring matchup, but the Cowboys get the win. Hope you guys have some fun with us today on Hit Sticks. We'll be back with some playoff episodes starting next week. For Isaiah Stanback, Barry Church, I'm Kyle Yeomans. We'll see you next time on Hit Sticks.
Cowboys Hit Sticks, presented by EA Sports, was brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors, the official sporting goods retailer of the Dallas Cowboys. AT&T, the official 5G innovation partner of the Dallas Cowboys. And by NFL Game Pass. You'll never miss a game again. Enjoy full and condensed game replays from Week 1 to the Super Bowl.